Home service business owners love to say, we grow by word of mouth, like it's some flex, but it's really not. And that's usually why you're stuck praying for your phone to ring. So in this video, I'm going to show you the difference between relying on referrals and actually leveraging them. This way you can add 20 to 30% more jobs this year without increasing your marketing budget at all. So if you run a roofing, HVAC, plumbing, or remodeling business and you want more of your best customers, this is for you. Because there's really only two types of home service companies. Type 1, these are the ones who rely on referrals. These guys do a decent job, maybe hand out a few business cards, and then they just hope that the customer remembers them. There's no tracking, there's no asking, there's just no system in place. These guys, they just stay flat. They don't go anywhere for years. And then they blame the economy, they blame whoever, anybody but themselves. And type 2, these are the guys who actually leverage referrals. These guys treat referrals like a real lead source. They design the job so customers can't help but talk about them. They ask at the right time and they make it a no-brainer for happy clients to send their friends. These are the companies that just keep growing even if ads get more expensive or the economy's down, whatever the excuse is, these guys keep improving, they keep making more money. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can move from type 1 to type 2, how to make your jobs more referable, exactly when and how to ask without being weird, and a simple referral offer that you can use so you're paying your customers instead of paying Facebook or Google. If you're new to the channel, my name's Andy, and my team manages marketing campaigns for home service businesses all over the country. Across millions in ad spend and SEO, referrals are always the cheapest, highest quality leads if you know how to generate them on purpose. So if you want more leads, lower ad spend, and more customers who already trust you before you show up, let's get into it. Referrals aren't just nice to have. They are your highest LTV customers, aka your lifetime value, the amount of money that a customer spends with you over their lifetime, and they have the lowest CAC, the customer acquisition cost, because you don't need to spend any marketing money to get a referral. This is why referrals are super profitable, because you already spent the money to get customer number 1. So what happens here is when you provide an excellent service to this person, they tell John. You do a great service for John, he tells Susie. And you can see this endless chain of referrals, but this won't happen unless you know how to actually ask for referrals and make this happen. But what you can see here, the value in this is that you only paid to get this customer. You spent on ad spend, you spent SEO, and you got this one customer that can lead to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth customer without having to spend any more money on marketing. And the best thing about these people is when they're referred from a person who already used your service and they trust this person, they automatically trust you. This means they're less likely to haggle you on price, watch over your shoulder the whole time you're doing the project. They just show up ready to buy, trust you more, and are typically happier with the work that you do. The relationship is just better across the board of what this could look like. So if you're complaining about spending too much on marketing, on your ads, whatever it is that you're doing, it's because you're not thinking about the long-term game here. How the money you spend on marketing leads to this customer, which leads to the second, third, fourth, and fifth customer. If each customer just brings one more customer over their lifetime, your customer acquisition cost drops by 60 to 70%. This is huge because you're in business to make money, to profit. So the more customers you can get without more marketing spend, the more money that you get to put into your pocket. Do you see how this works? Does this make sense so far? So let's look at the difference here between relying and leveraging. So these guys, type 1, that are relying on word of mouth to grow their business, this is what their lead flow looks like. They get 3 leads 1 week, they're super happy, they're thrilled. So here, this guy, he just got lucky. John went to church, he saw Susie. Susie said, yeah, I need to get a new roof soon. I'm having some trouble with it. John's like, oh, I just had Andy do my roof a couple weeks ago. Those guys did great. Here's their information. And you got a referral. But it's inconsistent because there's no incentives to make that happen. There's no actual referral system in place. So what happens is these guys, they're just super lumpy and their revenue's unpredictable. The next week, they'll have no referrals. Then they'll get 2 and they're happy again. And they just stay in this never-ending cycle, basically a roller coaster or a hamster wheel of just repeating the same thing over and over again because they have no plan, they have no strategy in place to actually leverage the referrals that they do get. And oftentimes, these guys aren't even spending money on marketing anyways. These are the guys that are the chuck in the truck and they're just going from job to job. They run the whole business, I guess you can call it, but really really all they have is a job. But these guys who are leveraging referrals, they have a system in place. Everything that they do is intentional. They design everything to make sure it's worth talking about. From the first point of contact with the customer to how they do the job, how they end the job, how they ask for a referral, they know exactly what they're doing. They're intentional about getting more referrals to make the most out of their marketing spend so they can be the most profitable business. And when you're the most profitable business, you can load that money back into more advertising and continue to crush your competition, because these guys can't spend as much as you can when your marketing spend is going 10 times further because you're getting 2 referrals from every single customer. So what they're doing is intentionally creating goodwill. They're basically creating a big gap between the price that the customer pays and the value that they feel that they receive. The greater that the value feels compared to the price, the more likely the customer is to give a referral. So now you're probably wondering, what exactly is this system? Sure, they're creating goodwill, they're trying to do good work, they're trying to make the customer feel like they're getting more value than the price that they paid. But what does that actually look like? What's a process? How can I implement that into my business? I'm gonna show you. So this is the meat. I'm gonna give you the exact 3-step system to get more referrals for your business. Step 1 is just making jobs more referable. What does that mean? It means simply just doing good work. Most people don't get referrals because they don't do good work. You guys know, you're in the mix every day. You've seen your competitors work. You know you can do a lot better. People cut corners, they take shortcuts, they don't do great work. To make a job more referable, you simply have to show up on time, be dressed nice, be clean, in a clean truck, greet the homeowner professionally, just as you would want to be treated. Because in home services, doing remarkable work is just doing the boring stuff and just doing it well. Throughout the course of the job, what you want to do is over communicate with them. You will never ever create a bad customer experience by communicating too much. Think about it. These people are paying you a lot of money. You're in their house, maybe working on their house. They want to know what's going on. Talk to them at the end of every day. Let them know what was completed, what you're going to do tomorrow. If they're away from home and you're leaving for the day, they're not there, send them a text, give them a call, send them some pictures, and let them know, keep them up to date. Communicate with them. Nobody wants to be left in the dark, especially when they're paying a lot of money for a service on their home. And then last, maybe this is a small surprise, but this is something that everybody should do. You should leave the place making it look better than when you showed up. So this is just cleanup. Clean up their yard, organize things, make it look nice. That's it. These 3 things, when done correctly, people will think, wow, I got way more than I expected. These guys, they showed up on time. They communicated extremely well with me. I knew what was going on throughout the entire process. And then when they were done, they cleaned up, they mopped the floors, they dusted everything, and my home looked perfect. I got exactly what I wanted. Now, this is a referable customer. This is somebody who you just gave an excellent customer experience to. Do you now think that these people are more likely to refer you? The answer is yes. This should be obvious. And this stuff is super simple to do. You show up, you communicate, and you clean up. That's it. That's how simple it is. That's step 1. Step 2 is to actually create a system and have an offer that incentivizes your customer to refer somebody else. Because most owners will just mention it. They'll just say something along the lines of, do you know anybody else who could benefit from our service? Anybody who's in need of a new roof right now that you could refer us to? Like, great, like at least you asked, awesome. But the probability that you actually get a referral from that is really low. You could drastically increase your probability by having an offer, by incentivizing them. And that's what we're going to cover here in step 2, is having an offer with an incentive. Because if you ever want to get people to take action, you need to have an incentive for it. Think about your employees. You want to get more Google reviews? Tell them, hey guys, we want more Google reviews. What happens if you tell them, I'm going to give you $25 for every single Google review you get? You're going to get shit tons of Google reviews because now there's an incentive in place for them to actually do so. You need to do the same thing if you want to get referrals from your customers. So like I said, most people will just ask for a referral at the end of the job, and it's totally fine, but it doesn't matter if you don't have to wait until the job is finished to ask for the referral. You can do it anytime along the way when the customer is happiest, when they're thrilled the most, when you over communicated with them and they said, thank you so much, this is great, I never had an experience like this. Boom, that's when you ask for a referral. You can do this anytime along the way. You don't have to wait until the job's complete. Whenever they're excited and you know they're super thrilled and happy with the work that you're doing, that's the time that you can ask. So now we know that we need an offer, an incentive. We know when to ask, when they're the happiest, when they're thrilled with your work. But so what exactly is an offer? What's an incentive that you can put in place to get more referrals? I'm going to show you. The best incentives are what I call double-sided. So what this means is your customer right here, John, if he refers Alex over here, this means he gets some sort of reward. He gets a bonus. Let's say $100 off his next service. And for Alex that he referred, this guy also gets $100 off. Do you see how this works? Does this make sense? Because this guy, John, is now heavily incentivized to do this referral because he's going to use your service again and he wants a discount. Everybody wants to save money. And guess what? His friend Alex over here, he can save him money and get him an awesome customer experience like you just gave John. Everybody in this situation wins. You win as well. You didn't have to spend any money on marketing to get this customer. All you had to do was do a good job, show up on time, communicate, clean up, create a very simple offer. This is as simple as it gets. $100 off your next service. If you're a house cleaning company, you can give $100 off your next clean, maybe a free clean, maybe a buy one, get one incentive referral to the new customer that's coming. This is really, really simple stuff. You don't have to get super creative with it. Just take a couple dollars off your service and you can create a double-sided incentive very easily. But here's the thing, asking them one time during the job is not enough. People are busy. It's not high priority for them. They need to be reminded. So if you didn't get a referral from them after the job, you can still send a text. You can send an email. You can leave a business card behind with the incentive listed on the card. So they have it at their home. They got a text, they got an email. Now they're very, very aware of it. Okay, they're aware of the incentive to give you a referral, but how do they do it? How do they go about connecting you with this person and letting you know that this is a referral from them? You have to streamline it. You have to make it easy, whether maybe it's a group text, maybe it's a group email. I don't know, guys, be creative. You can do it in any way like that. Just give them a direct path on exactly how to do it. People like structure, they like directions, it's easy to follow. This is the best path forward to getting more referrals. All right, now we're on to step 3, and this is probably the most important. The first 2 steps are easy. Do a good job, provide an incentive for your customers to give you referrals. Very simple. It's easy to just think through that and say, this is a good idea, and now tell the team, hey guys, from now on, start telling the customers they're gonna get $100 off their next job if they refer somebody. The problem is people won't do it. They might do it initially. You might have 2 or 3 weeks of good referrals, but unless you make it a machine, this means create systems and track it. If you don't measure it and you don't track it, this will slowly fade away as you get busy, the team gets busy, nobody really thinks about it, right? Happens all the time. So what you need to do when building a system, making it a machine, is track it by setting a referral target. If we do 30 jobs this month, my goal is to get 10% of them to turn into a referral. That's 3 jobs from referrals every single month, right? I don't know, make up your own target. These are just generic numbers that I'm using for simplicity. It could be 20%, it could be 30%, whatever you think is reasonable based off of the service you deliver, the cost it is, how easy it is for you to provide the service, right? You gotta make up your own numbers. The whole moral of the story is 1, build it into a machine, make a system, create a target that you actually follow, you actually track, and you actually talk to with your team on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Because if these numbers are not getting hit, you know that 1, you're not doing a good enough job, you're not communicating, you're not cleaning up once you're done, or maybe your offer incentive isn't good enough. And so if you're not tracking that, you don't know. You have no idea. So when you have all of this set in place, it turns into a flywheel. You know if you're not doing a good enough job, you know if you're not providing a good service or communicating well, if you're not getting referrals, because now you're tracking it, right? So what this means is if you're not doing a good enough job, now you're going to improve. So your service is going to get better. As your service gets better, you will get more referrals. As you get more referrals, you'll spend less money on marketing. And when you don't have to spend as much money on marketing to get a customer, you now have more profit. This is literally how you can go from a 10% profit margin to a 30% profit margin within the next 3 months. Like, this is realistic. Like, you could definitely 100% set this in place and do that. Increase your profit margins, reduce how much you need to spend on marketing to get the next customer. Or once you are making more profit and you're making more money, if you really want to put the pedal to the floor, if you really want to grow your business, you will actually increase this marketing spend. You will spend more, because the more marketing you spend to get a new customer will lead to the next referral. And this flywheel will just continue on, and it'll grow bigger and bigger and move faster. Does this make sense? This is how you get more profit. This is how you can outspend your competitors with your marketing budget, because you'll be more profitable than them. I work with a roofing company. These guys spend $80,000 a month on Google Ads every single month. And guess what? Their return is 1-to-1. They spend $80,000, they make $80,000. And that's totally fine, because they know that they can convert 20% of those customers into a referral. So even though in advertising, when they spend $1, they make $1, which kind of sounds crazy because they're not making a profit, they're not going anywhere, right? Sounds backwards, but they know if they have 80 customers, they can get 20 of them to give them a referral for the next customer. And this is why this business has been able to grow from 0 to $40 million in only 4 years, because they understand this and they leverage this. They have double-sided incentive programs. They train their team on it. They track it. Their service has gotten better, which led to more referrals. And they've actually increased their marketing spend so they could get more customers, so they could get more referrals, all while their profit is increasing. These guys are massively profitable at $40 million a year, growing there from zero just 4 years ago to $40 million in just 4 years. I know that sounds crazy, but this is real. When you actually follow these principles and put these into place, these are the results that you can get. So if you guys got value from this video, you want more content just like this, I'm uploading it every single week. I'm sharing with you what I see inside of 1,000 home service businesses that we actively work with. So hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.